Salute everybody. Welcome to Switching Lanes with Miss Parker. Miss Parker, I appreciate each and every one of y'all for pulling up with me today as we talk about 10-year-old Adriana Young. I dressed the part. I said I am going to Ghana. I'm going to Ghana. So I have to dress the part. I have to get that feel, when I'm talking about young Adriana. So here we are. I appreciate you guys again. Please hit that like button, turn on your notification bells so you won't miss a live, please. And thank you. Let me send this back. So I need all my riders support with me as we take this journey to Ghana. Hey, Lizzie. Hey, baby. How y'all Wednesday going? We almost to the end of the week now. After the hump day, we're there. So hope each and every one of you guys are doing okay. Give me just a second. Send my words. All righty, let me get to it. Let's get to it, ladies. Let me see. Thank you, Deidre, for becoming a member. Thank you. Hey, Miss Denise. Hey, sister. Hey, Alma sis. Hey, Diamond sister. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, scholarship, and research and educational purposes. Miss Low Key, how you doing? BX Queen, what it do, sister? Capricorn sister. Barbie sister, what it do? Mika, what it do, sisters? My riders. Rod, what it do? Queen Butterfly, what it do? Thankful sister, what it do? Riders, my sister's goddess. Hey sis. Hey Kenya, what it do, sister? Queen Butterfly, my sister, my rider. Tanya J, Diamond, my sister, my rider. Sword. Lizzie, my love. Nikki, my sister, my rider. Hey Tuda. Hey Jennifer. Miss One in a Billion. Hey, happy hump day. Just Mona, Yolanda. Miss Low-Key Lorraine. Hey, James, what it do? James, I took your rent. I didn't know if you had prior obligations, and so it wasn't nothing that you did. Just know that. But I took a lot of wrenches, and I said I was going to give them back as you guys come. So just give me a second, and I'll get you together, okay? Hey, Samad. Hey, Gloria. Okay, Gloria, New York is back in the building. Hey, Kimberly, my sister, my rider, Victoria. Hey, Victoria. What up, Snoopy? Stop that. Hey, Wanda. Hey, Tone, what it do, bruh? Vibe, what it do? Vibrant, my sister, my rider. Hey, Corey. Hey, Tracy. Corey, be careful. You know I don't like y'all texting and driving. Hey, Trendsetter, what it do? Miss 52, what it do, sister? Charlotte's Web, what it do? Man, thank you guys so much for pulling up with me today. 10-year-old Adriana Young goes missing. This is happening all over the world, not just here in America. A lot of stuff is not happening just here in America. It's happening all over the world. Just like Quintani, that happened in Canada. Baby Quintani's life was taken under the care of CPS as well. So we got 10-year-old. Hey, Marianne, what it do, sister? Goddess, what it do, baby sis? So now we got 10-year-old Adriana with, and from me hearing the story, it's so many lies circulating. What happened to this young lady? What happened? Hey, fine, how you doing? Happy Wednesday. Why so many lies surrounding these children? And where do the lies come from? They always come from the family. And one has to think, why so many lies? Why so much deceit? Why so much deception? Why don't we never get answers or ask the right answers when it comes to these babies? Hey, Mika, why not? So they said this Ghana woman knows everything about 11-year-old Adriana and her death. I know over there in those countries, they practice a lot of voodoo and black magic. They touch a lot of things. Their spiritual realm is different from, a lot of ways how we indulge in our spirituality. Christians, Methodists, Pentecostals, Catholics, Baptists. And I've heard stories, but did I know for sure? No. Hey, Marie. Hey, Tammy. She said, you just landed in Ghana. My God. Be careful, Tammy. Or are you just saying my earrings and my my moo? I hope. Be careful. Hey, Marie. Please be careful if you just landed in Ghana. What happened? What did Grandma do? Because they say Grandma keeps lying on top of lying on top of lying. Hey, Kay. On top of lying. Ain't asking the right questions. In one interview, I think I just heard her say that I asked them something if they had cameras, and they said no, and I just went on. You just went on, ma'am, no. Or it was something along the lines. We'll listen to it together. We will. Turn my phone on. But let's get into this about Adrianna Young. Prayers for her family. I talked about her a couple of weeks ago, so I said I want to keep up with that. And also this week I'm going to be covering Sade. Thank you, Tammy. I appreciate it. I want to cover Sade Robinson as well, so stay tuned for that one as well. I want to cover her case, and I want to go to the trial and cover that as well. So I'm going to play this again. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. Hey, Rosalind. Thank you. Thank you, Rosalind. Hey, Alicia. What do you do, sister? But let's get into it and see what she says. And I'll stop it, of course, and do my breakdowns of it and my thoughts. So.
Now, people, this lady on your screen, she is a Guyanese, and she's saying that she's a spiritual woman. She's here with a message from Adrianna Young, the 11-year-old girl that was killed and thrown in the pool. She's now saying that after Adrianna died, Adrianna visited her in the spiritual realms and told her everything that went down. People, she attacked one bag of things over here, so still, It's a crocus bag of things she attacked. And remember, she wasn't there. She said she never been to that hotel before, but she attacked a lot of things about inside the hotel. And the reason why she's saying all these things is because she said Adrianna Young visited her and told her everything in the spiritual realms. So is not she talking of her own, is what Adrianna told her in the spiritual realms she's uttering to the public. Please listen.
So let me get straight into it and right into it. I will be addressing the persons that I'm identifying as X and Y and Z. You guys will know exactly who I'm speaking about. They did not know the spiritual power of the number 11. They did not know. But tonight, the persons that received the money, the persons that were paid the bribe money, how can the spirit come back and tell the story? Tonight will be a worse nightmare.
And when she said that about the money, I do keep hearing like they're trying to, sweep this under the rug and pay the family, and that's gonna keep them quiet. And I don't know how they live. I don't know if they're poor, but I know they said that the grandmother went from a shack to Now she has a beautiful house. And hi, Ladria. Hi, baby. Love you so much. Hi, Davita. I see you guys. Hey, Nicole. And, that's what they do. When something like this happens in another country, they didn't think that her name was going to start being ran, like the Naziah Harris case almost. They didn't think that this was going to blow up and be big and people wasn't going to start questioning what happened to Adrianna Young. Hey, Rosalind. But guess what? The people of America did. They want to know. We want to know what happened to 10-year-old Adrianna Young. You don't, at this hotel had been swept front to back. Front to back. With no traces of Adrianna Young. Only for just a short while after the hotel had been swept, she's found floating face down in a pool. When they do her autopsy, she didn't drown. She barely even had water in her lungs, which means Adrianna Young was freshly put there. No, without a shadow of a doubt, Adrianna Young was freshly put there. Now, in this beautiful, expensive hotel, all of a sudden, we're back at another camera. Not working. Nothing's working. And we don't have questions. We don't have, the grandmother doesn't want to look for, what? Just because it's a language barrier doesn't mean that I don't understand what I'm hearing. Yeah, Miss Loki, she definitely didn't drown. What happened to Adrianna Young? Who did this? Why isn't this bigger than what it should be? Because, we never know where we're going to take a vacation. A lot of people have people in Ghana and other countries. But this is not your plan on leaving without your child. Finding your child missing and unalived. No answers. Only wanting payments to go out. They want to shut you up. To the parents of Adrianna Young, they want to shut you up so that her name will never be spoken, but only in your household. The weeping of the mother for the rest of her life. No cries, no outpours in the country because they've paid you. You've took the blood money of these demonic entities, because that's what we're coming across, demonic entities. But
So that young lady has transmitted to me her last moments. So she left the pool area. I'll say I, as in Adrianna. First and foremost, she wants me to address her parents and her grandmother. She stopped me just now. She thanked her father for his spiritual abilities. She said she loved you. I love you, mommy. But daddy, now that I'm here, I overstand your energy. Daddy, I overstand your energy.
Drea.
Daddy, no. I overstand your energy. Daddy, it was a reason why you were sick when mommy was pregnant. It was a reason why mommy never got the sickness that she would usually get when she's pregnant, when a woman is pregnant. Mommy, tell the world the truth. Tell the world the story. Tell the world what I'm telling Rosalind tonight, Sister Rosalind tonight, is the truth. You did not endure the normal sickness in your pregnancy with me. You had a beautiful pregnancy. You were excited. You were happy for your entire 9 months. Daddy was the one that was sick. Daddy was the one that was sick. Daddy was the one that got in an accident during me in your womb. Tell the world the truth, mommy. Don't let them corrupt you. Religion is fake, mommy. Religion is fake, granny. They took our ancestral way of life and they wrote the script so that we would be spiritually blind.
And you know, when you're dealing with that type of stuff and things like that, because I have heard through just people that's researching the story and stuff that they were definitely trying to corrupt the mother. And that's crazy, you know, with the blood money. Because to me, anytime they try to pay you for the loss of your child, it's blood money. We're never gonna speak about this again. We paid you. Trayvon Martin, Breonna Taylor. We have to stop taking that blood money and letting them mess with the faith that we have to get justice and so much more for our children. Y'all notice that buying their silence. Let's go, Tone. Absolutely. Nikki said, yeah, yeah. And this is what's happening. They don't think Americans care about this black young lady who lost her life and, you know. But once they pay you with that blood money, and like Tone said, they silence you. It's another life, an African American life swept under the rug. And I hope she continues to keep her baby name alive for the sake of getting justice. Not them building another hotel and doing this all over again to the mother. Look at the research of this hotel. This has happened before your daughter, the same exact way. Yes, Marianne, we got to stop being so forgiving. And yes, I know that money sounds good sometimes, but not the sake of not having answers. Hey, Gina. Hey, Kenyon. Not the sake of not having answers for my child. But
If daddy had took me to the pool, I would have been alive today. I would have been alive today if daddy had took me to the pool. Daddy, I love you. Mommy, I love you. But spiritually,
I really don't understand that either. Going to the pool, no supervision. We have to stop being so free of thinking that it's not our children that we can't trust. It's the people around. I don't trust anybody as far as I can throw them. Thank you, Yvette. Thank you, sis. I don't trust people as far as I can throw them. And in this third world country, it's like, Now we have a camera that's not working again. A baby just ups and disappears again. Without a trace. Rita, you hear me? Gladys, you hear me? Without a trace. We cannot keep allowing this to happen. But it does fall back on us as parents too. You just have to wait for me to go to the pool. You have to wait for me to go there. You have to wait for me to go there. Somebody, you hear me? Mm-hmm. Hey, Rob.
daddy, you got your strength from granny. You got your spiritual powers from your mother because she came from a background of traditional heritage. She came from a background of Amerindian traditional heritage. Tell the world the truth. Tell the world the truth, mommy. Many times people thought that Granny was not as righteous as she should be because she loved Daddy bad. She loved Daddy bad. But it's because of her spiritual background. Daddy was born with that energy. It was transferred to Daddy. When Daddy said that he barely tell you I in that building, my whole skin is growing.
You hear me? Better not.
I can now tell the world it's because Daddy knew I was in that building.
She's saying, basically it's coming from her, and I believe because the grandmother, there's something about the grandmother that is just throwing me. Alicia said her daughter's not going anywhere without any supervision of her mother or her father. Davita said, hey, Passion. Davita said, people will try to use you in your face and they think you don't know. Yes. And even here, what's her name? And what's the baby's name in the hotel? What's the young lady's life that lost the name? I don't know. My brain's it's a little fried right now. Kanika Jenkins. In this hotel with cameras. Kanika Jenkins. If that didn't wake America up and shook you about these hotels, that shook me about hotels. When my daughter went to the Bahamas a couple of weeks ago, I couldn't tell y'all how much I stressed stay together, even using the bathroom. Nobody goes to the restroom by themselves. Anisha's 30. Nobody uses the restrooms, 29. Nobody uses the restrooms by themselves. Go everywhere together, even if buying a drink. That's how mindful you have to be as an adult. So let alone a child. Let alone a child in a hotel. You hear me, Nikki? Capricorn says, sister, I'm 35 and my mom did this on my last vacation. You hear me, Capricorn? Hey, Nisha says. Davita said, absolutely. Yeah, stay together. Everything we do, we came as a group. Everything we do is as a group. If you want to get up, take a walk, we all take a walk. You have to be mindful of your surroundings. Yes, the water's crispy blue. You can see the fish, damn near see a dolphin. But that has nothing to do with the surrounding. Nothing. No one goes anywhere alone when I'm on a trip. It's not safe. Man, even to the bathroom. I don't care if you ain't got to go. Walk with me. Walk with me. It's so many stories like that. We see people walking on the camera and all of a sudden just at the side of the camera to just vanish. Never to be heard of again. What happened to this baby? Did the hotel really get swept? Because how did she go unnoticed of being put in that swimming pool so quick? How did she get overlooked? Hey, Miss Texas T. Thank you, Diamond. How did she get overlooked? But hey.
Daddy knew I was in that building.
Hey, Purple Paradox.
They could have distracted you, mommy. They could have had you going looking for that taxi. But Daddy stood his grounds. And you complied. Mommy, you need to be strong because you're going to fall sick. Mommy, you need to be strong because you're going to fall sick. And to the young lady that did the live, Miss, I spoke to Miss Batson today. Miss Batson, you need to be strong. I know you didn't agree with what I told you, and I respect that. But I will tell you, I am sending you ancestral strength and power. Brace yourself. You have no clue what you got into, none whatsoever. And what I saw coming to you, I've already contained it. But you need to be aware that you got into something that you're totally unaware of.
And people got to understand, trafficking is at an all-time high. Black organs, all the black market for organs, skin, especially for melanated people, it's in the higher ups, man. There's so many corruptive politicians and so many more. So many leaders and stuff are involved with these kids. And when you look at the owner of the hotel, you'll go, they was into something way, way bigger. And the power that these people hold, it's unprecedented. It just really is. Just using your words, if you go back to the Franklin Credit Union, don't forget they was taking children through the tunnels to the White House. They was taking kids to the White House. Who's in the White House? The president, correct? We have to watch our children, man. It is a spiritual warfare against our melanated children. And guess what? They're just a poster on a pole. We will only remember their names throughout conversation or just a memory that hits us and say, dang, remember that kid that went missing? Because we are not supposed to continue to keep these children's name alive. We are not supposed to talk about these children. So I hope the mother stays strong. Hey, Jamila. I hope that the mother stays strong for the sake of getting the justice and shutting this shit down. It's a sick world, you hear me? Samai, yeah. Pizza party at the White House. Hey, picture printing. Hey, mom dudes. Trafficking has been going on for quite some time. Do y'all think in New York that all those children, go look at the numbers. It's not 50,000. But even if it isn't 50,000, how the fuck do so many kids go up missing without a trace? Without even a search party? Without even hearing each child's name consistently on a daily basis? Because the news talks about so much shit that's just not relevant. I think in some of those segments, they should have, hey, Tony King. In some of those segments, they should have strictly 5 minutes of missing children. The news comes on, 3-4 times a day? You got the morning news, you got the afternoon, you got the evening news, and then you got the night. Hey, Kamaka. Why aren't our children? Didn't they look for Natalie Holloway for years up until they got him? They looked for him for years. I got sick and tired of hearing her name because it was so many melanated kids that I never even knew their story. I never even knew that a lot of melanated kids was missing. Trafficking has been going on since the beginning. You hear me? You hear me, Samad? How many stories have we done and we don't hear about them? With these kids even getting essayed, battered, tortured. because we're not really supposed to hear. You have to go do research for our children to even know that they weren't alive, to know that they're missing. You have to go deep diving. But when Casey Anthony did that to her daughter, they searched near, far, and wide for that baby, didn't they? When Lacey Peterson went missing, they searched near, far, and wide for Lacey Peterson, didn't they? Yeah, Diamond. Shake Rock's waiting to hear back from her. They was in connection, and I don't know. Davita, you heard me? Somebody's always watching. Those tunnels in New York, they exist. But we have to be mindful of what we allow our children to do without supervision. Yeah. Can't keep putting it on the ones that's snatching our children for their organs, for their skin, for trafficking purposes. I have to start talking to the parents. She said, this is why I call my kids all the time, even with them saying, please, mommy, we have a life. I always say, I need to know you're okay. It's scary now. Man, can you hear me? It's up to us. It's not our children. It's up to us to take that second out to make sure that their surroundings are just as safe as our surroundings. Hey, Von Schiller. Hey, Tammy. And we're not doing that. We're letting the kids go ride bikes without supervision. Just for free time. Just so we can talk on the phone, watch our TV shows, pick up around the house. But it only takes a second. Only a second. A blink of an eye. Your eyes closed, open, your children are gone.
And don't reject me. Adrianna is asking you to don't reject Sister Rosalind. Don't reject her. She's not an evil woman. She is a righteous person. She is a sacred person. I have transmitted to a media person, and he can back me up. And I told him this the day that they found her body, the evening. I told him it's 3 police officers are involved, are the main person. I said, it's the commander, it's a black melanated police, and it's a mixed race, Negro, African black, but not totally black, mixed race, little brown income, little light, mix. It's 3 of them that are spearheading this complete cover-up. I told him he can back me up and it will come out in the truth. And I have the correspondence to prove it when the truth comes out, when the entire physical truth come out. This is the spiritual transmission of the truth.
Mom Dukes, yes.
I asked Miss Batson if she checked in the garbage bins. She said she checked. I asked her if she was able to recognize a basement. She said yes. She said something like a basement. Yes, she thinks that it has a basement. I said, were you able to go in the basement area? She said no. I was unable to do that, my sister.
Imagine y'all no social media. Imagine no social media. How many more black children would go missing, and how many wouldn't receive justice? Because we wouldn't know. If you do the statistics of missing kids, even in small towns that you've never heard of, it's kids missing. And you're like, how come this story isn't out there? unalivings and more. Why isn't this story out there? That's what it makes you say. Why isn't this story out there? Why we don't know about this? Yeah, it's a reason, sis. Yes. Milk cards, and we really don't pay attention. Absolutely, Diamond. Hey, 504 girl. Hope everything's going well at the doctor, okay? Praying for you too, Sister Diamond. But yeah. hmm Where would these children be without social media? Where would the justice be? Because
So
the
that's
people
it for
claim
that. Let me continue now straight into what happened. So that young lady, I left the pool, left the area, above the pool area,
love you, sister.
where everybody had their bags,
Good.
where everybody had their bags and their belongings, Granny, right where you was. I left there. And I went to get the van. I never went to that hotel. I personally don't know that place.
Mm.
A woman, not a young lady, because I asked her energies. I said, is it a younger person? She said, no, it's not a younger person. It was a woman that went looking for the wristbands because I wanted to know what other colors they had. But she was already identified by the owner that she will be the next victim. And they collaborated with the regular persons that they usually collaborate with.
Mm.
And that young lady took her in a room, at the entrance of a room, and she was standing at the entrance. She didn't go in the room. And she said she's looking, and the young lady was looking for the stuff. And she said, oh, look, I have these colors here. See if you like one of these. And she slipped into the room unconsciously. Immediately after she slipped into the room, the young lady come out of the room and hands pulled her behind the doors. She said she blacked out at that point. She don't remember anything at that point. That's when I transmitted what she told me on Facebook at that point of her body being missing. That they drugged her and check the cameras. You will see hands pulling her. It's on my page. It's on my page before they found the body. All my transmission. It's on my page. I transmitted that it was two persons. It was a father and a son. I transmitted the description that you were showing me. Everything. Tall, with a bigish belly.
Mm.
The son is short, not so tall, not short. I didn't use the word short, not so tall, and a bit slim. Yep. She even described the clothes. I said, Adrianna, what, what did they had on? She said the short person had on a blue jersey and a black pants. And the tall person had on a yellow top, shirt or top, and a blue jeans. Sit back, meditate, and reminisce. If you saw those persons around the pool area before you recognized that that child was missing, the clothing that I'm describing will come to light. Will come to light. It's buried. The clothing is buried, but it will be discovered.
And I'm also thinking that where the father and them immediately put on a search, that halted them from taking her organs or trying to traffic her. I really do. I really do. I think them taking immediate action altered them from doing something more horrific to Adriana. I really do. It was something more sinister about to happen to 10-year-old Adriana. But they didn't have time. They ran out of time. They did not know that this search was going to happen immediately. That it was going to be the outcry and the outpour of the community searching for her and sweeping this hotel like this. And I think that the people of Ghana did this because burnt that hotel down because they knew about this hotel. This was not the first time that loved ones have been missing, and the same fate of Adriana happened to so many others. And I think the people of that community knew. I do.
Yep.
Damn, baby.
She was then taken into another room when she became conscious. When she gained back consciousness? No. Correction. She's telling me everything. Even to the part where she was unconscious. She's now spirit-wise available to tell me the entire ordeal of what transpired. They then took her into another door.
Samad.
From the stockroom door, one of the stockroom doors, the door is on the right hand.
It was a hotel down here in up in Myrtle Beach. You guys Google it. It was a hotel up in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. And me love going to Myrtle Beach. Stayed in a hotel down there? Not yet. But this is why I'll never stay down there. So they said they went to the Myrtle Beach Hotel. I got to figure out who sent me their story. They said when they went, it was uneven. The floor was uneven. And it was something about the closet. So they checked the closet and they've been doing that. They checked the closet and inside the closet was another door. Cause sometimes we see those extra doors and it goes into conjoining rooms. But does it go to a conjoining room? Cause I've seen one where it's space in between those two doors. And not only is it space, it's enough room to walk through. Come to find out, hey, Too Blessed. Come to find out that this hotel was trafficking children at Myrtle Beach. They said they knew something was wrong and strange in this hotel. Because they said they never seen so many foreigners working. And it was black foreigners working. Hey, got popcorn. It was so many foreigners working in this hotel down on Myrtle Beach. And they said something told them to look it up. Like this hotel. Kids had came up missing. Kids that had never left the hotel had came up missing. They said when they went to look and once they started digging up, there was too many kids that came up missing. It was doors under the carpet. It was spaces under the carpet. Y'all Google the hotel down in Myrtle Beach, but it was foreigners. Yeah. How do y'all think that the foreigners get over here? Y'all think they just get on boats all the time and come across the ocean? No, ma'am. They've always used tunnels. Hey, Pinky Jean. Hey, Novi. They always use tunnels. If y'all think about it, the border, hey, Sherry, the border down in Mexico. How do y'all think the people was getting from Arizona to Mexico? What did they do? They started going under the tunnels. The FBI started going under those tunnels. When you look at those Mexican movies, what do they use to traffic their drugs? They use those tunnels. And that is just what this hotel was using. Hidden doors, tunnels. Davida said they sure do. I was never so sick to my stomach when I heard that, because me and Shank Rock was just talking about taking the kids to the beach. And when I heard hotel full of foreigners, it kind of raised the eyebrow when they was telling me the story. And I said, what? They said, please Google this story. Google that hotel, please. Do a story about that hotel. And so many times do we go in these hotels and who does it be? Just being honest, and it ain't no racial or nothing. Because you got to keep saying things about racial, because they always make it like it's racial. No, it's the truth. She said, yep, smuggling. These foreigners started buying hotels like crazy. And I never understood it, because I never paid attention to trafficking. Somebody said, yep, smuggling. And now I know. And I'm going to do that story probably this week sometime about the hotel down here in Myrtle Beach, with those foreigners trafficking those children and unaliving them. That's why I tell people, you worry about a wall when they just go underground. Absolutely, Tanya J. Yes. Tanya say, y'all worried about a wall when they just go underground. It's the truth.
From the reception area. The door is on the right hand. And then in that room has another door. And the other door leads to a stair that is made of metal steel. A steel stair. It is alongside the elevator. When you're going down the stairs, you can see the elements of the infrastructure of the elevator. It is made of steel. And it took her down to a lower flat. They took her into a other room where they usually take their victims and do the entertainment part of it, which is a sexual molestation part of it.
Oh.
And then there's a Hindu ritual altar that they do to maintain wealth, maintain power, and be on top of everyone. Their rituals, their beliefs, their cultural practices, evil, iniquitous practices. The altar area, it will be revealed to the world. The altar area is made out of an expensive tile. That's what she's telling me. It's made out of an expensive tile. And the bottom of it is like a bathtub. So it's, imagine, and then it's an arch. And there's a big god. And there's a monkey in the room. We're going to find out all the evidence. It's intact. The persons that work there are going to speak of the monkey that they feed. That they only see the monkey once in a while. And then the monkey goes into disappearance. And then suddenly the monkey comes back out in the open air. And then he goes back into wherever they keeps him. It's down in that room.
Okay, but just being honest really quick. How many of y'all, hey Allison, what it do, sister? How many of us check hotel rooms? Be honest, because I've never. And that's me being honest. Up until now, in doing these stories, have I got scared? Hey, Dior, my sister, my rider. Up until now, look, King said, I've never paid attention to trafficking until now. And it's like, this is real. Yeah. Davida said never. Because I'm being honest, I've never checked a hotel room to see doors. I never looked in the closets. I always thought that one room, that door is just the connection to the other room. Until she said, including grown people, especially going out to clubs for this baby. God said, I don't when I go. They said at the Hilton Garden Inn in South Carolina near the Coastal Grand, 84 kids. Let me write that down. Thank you so much, Tracy. Thank you so much. That's the hotel, you guys. Hilton Garden. And it sounds so nice, don't it? The Hilton. You know, we all want to stay at the Hilton. We all want to stay in. $84 kids. I'm gonna find that while we're live. Yeah, we all want to stay at the Hilton. We all want to stay somewhere nice. Stay at the Hilton. Hey, beautiful. I honestly been in the habit of doing so for some time now, only because of when I get that. She said, yes, I check for doors and mirrors. That's a good one, Lavika. I never thought about mirrors. She said, I don't check either. Okay, Jacqueline? She said, Miss Loki said, but I do now. She said, sounds like the elite bathhouse where they do the unthinkable. And that's basically what she's saying, Dior. And I believe it based off the strength and the fact of knowing that they said they swept every part of this hotel. There's no way that baby came up in that pool after they just searched it. There's no way. There's no way she came from the outside in. Ken said, I do because I pay attention when I'm out. Oh, wow, Tracy. Thank you. I frequent Myrtle Beach. I'm telling you, DeVita, somebody told me that story. They said, find that hotel. And they said, can you do they said they went and stayed at this hotel. And they said it scared them, DeVita, because they said they had never seen so many foreigners. It was nothing but foreigners. She said, I do check doors, mirrors, light fixtures. Now, after Tanya J and those light fixtures, absolutely. She said, I check everything, looking for cameras. Yes, Kenya. Oh, yeah, because some areas possibly do have double-sided mirrors. I never thought of it, got it. I'm checking for cleanliness bugs and not for things like that. Right, Latrice? I do, and I always check the closet first, and I ask the cleaning lady, what about that door? Go to yes, have to check the mirrors as well. She said, you have to check the closet door with the safe in it, too. Never thought about that one, Miss Loki. That's a good one. Nikki said, wow. She said, I don't even want to take my babies at no hotels at this point. This is too much. Mom Duke, you heard me? She said, oh my goodness. She said, I check doors, showers, under the bed, and behind the TV. Yeah. She said, I would check, but the door would be locked. Yep. Let me see if I can find a clip so I can show you. I came across a lot while deep diving Balenciaga. She said, stayed at a hotel in Cincinnati that was supposed to be new, and the knobs weren't secure. I stayed up the rest of the night, and we left the first thing in the morning for enough sleep. I was checking for bugs and cameras. I always look for cameras. I ain't gonna lie, but everything else, I was oblivious.
Yep. And the big God is right there. And the altar is like a little pool. It's like how you see those water fountains. You'll have like a water fountain, and then you'll have like a little sink area. And it's made out of an extensive tile. I'm feeling a vibration of granite tile. And that's where they light the fire, the camphor, and everything, and they do the rituals. And then they lay the dead body down there in this hole. It's space enough to hold a long body. It's space enough. The sink area, it's enough to take a long body. And to her mother and father, I have some soothing news. They did not get to sexually penetrate her, but they sexually molested her. They were angry because y'all didn't move. They did not get to do what they had fully planned to do with her because y'all did not move. She was then molested. When she got her consciousness of what is going on, she woke up naked skin, naked as she's born. One person, the short person, was pulling her hands in the back of her head. And the tall person was molesting her. He was carrying out oral sexual molestation on her when she regained conscious. She tried to fight, and the person that was holding her hands behind her back, behind her head, squeezed her hands so hard, so tight. She said it was like a monster holding me. I feel the skin of my hands begin to squeeze off. She tried to fight and turn. And as she pulled forward and pulled backward, the white tiles, burnt her kneecaps, burnt it. It's burnt from tile soil in it. Imagine you have your elbows on a tile and somebody pulling you up and down on that tile. In an instant, it will burn like fire. Because she was trying to turn over from the person that was trying to molest her. She was trying to turn over. And in the turning over constantly and fighting while somebody's restraining her from behind, and her body's pushing down and pushing up, they bruised her kneecaps. That's how my kneecap got bruised, mommy and daddy. It was from the burns on the tile that burnt me. And my hands that got damaged, it was because they were squeezing my hands so tight, mommy, so tight that I felt like the skin was coming off my wrist. I squeezed him. There's scratches on his neck. Mommy, there's scratches on that short person's neck and on their wrist and on their hand. I scratched. I did all I could. They molested her. They both shared the molestation. They inserted their fingers in her because they wanted to make sure they get the blood to put to the altar. They recognized that they wasn't getting the energies that they wanted to get to penetrate her with their penis. While all of this was happening, the riot outside was distracting them. They hostage her between 12:30 minutes to 1. By the time 1:30, she was blanked out, unconscious. She woke up minutes to 3. When she woke up, that's when the molestation started. Then the tall man said to the short man, the shorter person, go in front and see what's going on and come back. Left share with me. I'm going to deal with it. You go. Go and make sure. Kind of washroom in that room. He cleared and he went back upstairs. He have a radio set that he and the boss alone uses. The radio set. All of this is going to come to light. All of this. And his cell phone has messages with him messaging downstairs what is going on upstairs. GT&T has all the evidence. GT&T has all the evidence of the text messages. Of him telling him what is going on outside. Because by the time he came back outside, that's when they recognized that these people are totally looking for this child. So the energies of being able to rape her brutally, they didn't get the chance to do that. because the energies, remember, the child is a spiritual chosen vessel. She's a spiritual chosen vessel. He then went back down after that, probably about what time did he went down back, Ariana? 4:30. 4:30 went back down.
Thank you, Miss Tech.
And then they light the altar.
They did.
And they decided that they're gonna start the ritual. They feed the monkey bananas. They talked. They harassed her, beat her up.
You.
Physically tried to hurt her. Both of them were confused.
And this is when the mother needs to really get investigation going. Really needs to, not saying list to mediums, but at the same time, I would want that whole hotel swept for hitting doors or anything. I don't know how much it got burned down. I don't know the extent because I'm going to do some more research, but I don't know to the extent of everything that has happened here. But I think it definitely has to be something more when it comes to just searching these hotels. Like, can we do an extensive search, like hidden doors? Say that. I never do, but now me and my family will take extra precautions now. Or an hour, yeah. Allison, okay, Allison, fill me in later. Like I said, you send me a lot. I need to check it out and stuff like that. But I believe this. It was a movie again. I said it would. It's a movie, and it was with Tom Cruise in it, right? And I remember he went to this house, but it was a lot of shrubbery. I mean, beautiful neighborhood, enriched with shrubbery. You know what I'm saying? Big houses. But behind these trees, you couldn't tell it was a mansion behind these trees, but it was a immaculate mansion. And when he went in the house, he was given a masquerade mask. It was one to hide everything in the house. It was to hide everything from his vision, to see where he was going and whatever. He ended up in a basement. Politicians, judges, men, very powerful men with money. Because see, it's not when you say money and power for people, it's money. We ever heard growing up, money talks. Money talks and the bullshit walks. People with money get off. You ever seen those rich kids and the celebrities that unalive people hitting runs and all that? They get off. While people and mothers and fathers grieve their loved ones. Because money. The power that was in that basement. They had young men dancing, kissing each other, doing unthinkable things, girls doing the same. Men purchasing the young men. Find that movie. And it was called A Blood Oath. It was called A Blood Oath. So, yeah. Pay attention to your surroundings.
Used to what to do. What will they do? Because these people downstairs going to the station. So then the tall person left and left her with the short person. The tall person changed, came, and he called the commander.
Sure, let me write that down. Because I keep forgetting Papa.
And he went to the station. And he paid the commander $1 million. $1 million was paid up front to make them leave. When that was done, the commander tried his utmost best.
Yes, Ahmad.
That $1 million was paid between 6 and 7:30. 6 p.m. and 7:30 that night.
Yeah, get out.
To make them leave. About 9:30, between 8:30 and 9 o'clock, 9:30 the latest, when the owner recognized that it's out of control, it's heading out of control, and he can't get to execute what he planned to do and how he planned to do it, he called ex-host.
I told y'all, I said they was planning on doing more to this baby. You could tell. But they didn't expect the heat to get down. Like, they did not expect for anybody to look for this baby and put that pressure on them and put that heat on. When everybody else, don't forget the young man's name that came up in the story of Adrianna Young. Things happened to him in the same manner. But this one, the family, That's why the community jumped in the way they did, because they heard stories and they knew of stories about this hotel and those things happening to these children. Give me a second. Yeah, I was kind of spinning.
Ex-host for help, because it's a normal routine that he does it and he gets off all the time. He is related to white minister that takes care of children, the entire nation children. He's related to her. That is why she showed up. Yep.
Hey, Almighty. Hey.
He's related to her.
Hey, Jada Gray.
He called ex-house, explained he's in deep shit, because they're good like that. They don't have to say, I think I make a mistake. They know what they do and how they do it and who they do it for, because they're a clique. They're a clique. $10 million were then paid. Ex-house called XYZ commissioner. Z commissioner was called. The journalist knows who I'm speaking about, because I called the exact name who was called. And Z commissioner called back the commander and tell the commander, what can't you get yourself in? Y'all get it fucking fixed. Get it right. Get it right. Make them fucking people go home. Get it fucking right. That is when ex-commander declared that they got footage of her leaving the premises in a car. He tried his best to do his damage control. That's when the 10 million was paid. 10 million was split up between Z commissioner and the house and ex-house and team. Yep. When I have transmitted this privately to a few persons that the amount of $11 million was paid to do this entire cover-up. Z commissioner then called everybody that he know is the dirty dogs that is ready for take some of this $10 million to get it done. That is when 3 police officers from the dirty crew, 3 of them said we got it covered.
Y'all heard what she said? Hey, Juju, baby, drop your link. Y'all heard what she said about the police? Because that is real. This is happening here in America, not just Ghana. We're witnessing it. We're witnessing this happen. All you got to do is Google stories about police corruption. How about the police in Alabama that went in that house with those 2 black men and damn near beat them to death? No phone call to their home or nothing. The corruption is real in the cleaning up of their own. Trust me, they clean up for their own. Nobody goes down for these babies. Not even their aggressors. Because you know what? They take that blood money. Oh, they failed the baby. Give them $2 million. Oh, they failed the baby. Cut them a check for $10 million. Yeah. We don't want to hear about it again. And we don't. Not even the anniversary. Natalie Holloway gets one every year. Don't she? We've been hearing about her since the disappearance, up until they found her. Which was years later. They weren't going to stop. They went to another country to find her aggressor. Well, Adrianna Young received the same.
And they give the other ordinary man and woman that was in the building a little pinch for it. And they explained to them, all of them knew. They explained to them, it's a little boyfriend and girlfriend situation, and it get out of hand. They didn't explain. Bear in mind, down to the dirty cops that agree to do certain things.
I love how she keep throwing up the dirty cops. The dirty cops is true. And we can't forget that in these cases. Because go back to Naziah Harris' case. This all sounds so familiar. Don't these stories start to sound familiar to us? Don't they all start having so many similarities? Family members who don't want to look. Family members who's in it for money. Crooked cops, dirty cops.
The black ones didn't even know the dimension of what they're getting into. They didn't really have a clue of what they're getting into. Including, you see the word backfire right now is the main word for tonight. You see who the ancestors use? Guyanese critics. Guyanese critics. My people, didn't I transmit to y'all coming? Didn't I transmit that every system and all the persons and the oppressors in the enablers karma is going to hit them? Our ancestors going to use them as our tool, as our footstool. I have been transmitting. I don't know who was taking the data and who was listening. You see the backfire? Guyanese critics on the scene. Right now, Guyanese critics is in a puckle because he is now beginning to comprehend is where really he get himself involved with. Because he got in there for the benefits and the gains. Originally, he got in there because he thought he was standing up for justice and he was standing up for, what the country really needs. Genuinely.
Hey, with Ellie.
But then he got a red eye with the goodies. But he didn't know that the goodies got some real dirty waters underneath. So now he beginning to comprehend. You see the backfire? You see the backfire what happened there? So let me continue. The $11 million was paid to cover this shit up. To cover up this entire evil operation. $11 million. Bearing in mind, when I transmitted this privately to certain persons from Tushin, that 11 million was paid, I myself did not comprehend. Veil upon their eyes be removed. Let black people's dirty veils, religious veils, Jesus, Mary, and Joseph veils that are on their eyes. Ashe. So anyway, let me continue because I want to be off this live ASAP. So $11 million were paid. I transmitted this privately to a number of persons. I did not comprehend what I was saying and the power of what I was actually saying. Tonight, when I was communicating this evening,
telling you, it's unfortunate you can't put a dollar amount on it, but guess what? Don't they? They did it with Trayvon Martin's family, George Floyd. Let's not forget the woman that was in her kitchen. In her kitchen, they called them for protection. Called these dirty cops for protection because she heard something outside her house. Only for her life to be gone. Only for her life to be taken. And guess what? What they do, Tone? Write that check. They wrote that check. Because one thing about black people, and we just got to be honest. Y'all take those checks. But in my world, I've been broke. I've been broke. I came into the world with nothing. My mom and dad struggled raising my 5 siblings. Ain't nothing can bring my baby back. Money can't bring my baby back. So I don't want the blood money. I'm going to fight to the end of me and the death of me to keep my child's name alive and so many others. No amount of money. None.
When I was communicating with Miss Sister, with the young lady, Adrianna. Adrianna said to me, Sister Rosalind, I was chosen for this journey. I said, what? What do you mean you was chosen for this journey? She said, tell mommy and daddy, don't cry. Don't cry. I don't want nobody cry at my funeral. I want everybody to be smiling at my funeral. Put me down in joy. I said, why would you want, why would you say something like this? She said, Sister Rosalind, go and research the number 11. And as I begin to research the number 11, I cross paths with it a number of times. As I begin to research the number 11, and I begin to comprehend the deepness of what is transpiring, I was in utter shock that I transmitted that $11 million, $1 million front first, and then $10 million when it got out of hand. I was like, oh my gosh, this child is 11 years old and it's $11 million. Then it went more deep. count the years from the last revolution to the Slavery Abolishment Act from 1823 to 1834. Exactly 11
Thank you,
years.
Novi. Oh, thank you.
And the ancestors brought me to a place where they
Oh my
said,
God, you can tell.
you're transmitting, but you need to understand the seriousness of what you're transmitting. That is 11 times came into play 3 times. She's 11 years old. 11 years old, 11 years after the last slavery rebellion, where it started in Guyana and ended in Guyana. We got the Slavery Abolishment Act from 1823 to 1834. And then $11 million was paid to cover it up. That is 3 times 11.
Mm.
My people, wake up. Wake up.
I love how she just said that. My people, wake up. Wake up. Because we, unfortunately, are not woke. And somebody, I believe that. You know why I believe that? Because look at the number 13. And even after, not just Naziah, Janiyah McMichael Rogers, and so many others, they was 13. So when I started doing my statistics of missing children and things like that, 13 was always like the main thing I looked at, and it was coming up. I didn't have to go deeper search for the age. It was 13. And after doing these stories, you be like, it's not coincidental. It's just not coincidental that the age 13 keeps coming up, being a factor. I'm going to come back with things from the grandmother. I got some more clips because I do want to keep up with this story. She said, Janelle said, Jarvis said many times his favorite number was 13. Shaking my head, it's a wicked number. All you got to do is Google the missing children and you'll see their ages, and it'll shake you. It'll give you chills. It's mind-blowing. So, I just do my research and I just pay attention to numbers. And 11 was very popular. 11 and 13 was popular numbers. Never too much 12 or nothing, but 11 and 13 was very popular numbers. Thank you guys so much for pouring into me and pulling up with me today. Justice for Adrianna Young. I hope her mother really pushes to get that hotel checked into more and more detail and things like that. And we need a session on numerology. And yeah, we do, Dior. We do. Hey, Erica. Hey, Queen Nashia. Queen Nashia. How you doing? But yeah, y'all keep up with me and pull up with me tomorrow. I'm going to do Sade Robinson. I want to get into that. Thank you, Miss Denise. Drop your link as well. If y'all could drop Juju's link and Miss Denise's link. And Alicia, if you're still in here, you can drop Dr. J's link and stuff. Another great upcoming content creator. I wish you guys nothing but the best for your channels and stuff like that. I can't wait to see our channels be prosperous and grow, and what y'all going to bring to the table, each and every one of y'all. Again, thank you guys today. I love you too, Queen. Thank you so much. Keeping these kids' names alive is hard. And we definitely need a village. We definitely need a village. We need everybody, all boots on deck, not just mine. You don't have to be in blue or green to put boots on the ground and use your voice to get the justice for these kids. Y'all being here is enough, and I love you. Keep using your voices for these children so their stories won't get swept under the rug. Their stories, their pictures won't keep going on milk cartons that nobody's paying attention to. Poles where the pictures just disintegrate with the weather and blows out that pole wherever the wind blows. Absolutely, Dior. She said a Freemason. Y'all got to start opening our eyes. We don't want to believe in a lot of stuff, but guess what? If you are into church in the Bible, it's there. It is there. The witchcraft. Dreams, meaning something. All of that's in the Bible. It's time, like she said, it is true. It's time to wake up. To our people, wake up. While we are eyes wide shut, our communities are being flooded with demonic entities. And until it knocks at your door, hey Cam, until it knocks at your door, guess what? Is that when realization sits in? Thank you, Deborah. Is that when, ma'am, do you have a child by the name of? You hear me, Juju? I don't want that knock at my door. I don't want that unsettling phone call where discernment hits you and thank you, sister. Where that not so fresh feeling hits your stomach and nausea because you know what's about to be said on the other end of that phone call. You could just tell before you get it. Right, Nicole. And I'm trying to prevent that as much as possible. I cannot stop everything. Again, I wish I had superpowers, but guess what? I don't. But thank y'all for embracing and going to Ghana with me. We have been up in Detroit for quite some time. Now I want to go down to Indiana, to Janiyah McMichael Rogers. And then I want to go to where Sade Robinson is from. But right now, I am in Ghana, and I am embracing this baby's name. That's why I woke up and put on this and my earrings to get a feel for our new baby, who's added on a list that's getting so long and so heartbreaking. They're on the wrong list. They're not on the list of perfect attendance, principal list, honor roll. These kids are on a list of lives being taken before their lives ever really got started. And I'm sick of it. I'm tired. Salute to everybody. Thank you guys so much for pouring into me, hitting that like button, just coming through, checking out my replays on my videos. Thank you guys so much. It means everything. It means it's pushing these children's story through the algorithm of YouTube. And we never know whose life we can save by being here and talking about it. The next child's life could be saved. We just got to keep the faith and keep doing what we do. Salute everybody. Get my song, get my music. And I'll see you guys later. I got another story to cover. So salute and go enjoy the rest of your home day, okay?
Miss Parker, the YouTube star, lighting up the screen, you know who you are, bringing news you can use and a laugh or two. She's got the facts, the fun, and the realest view, with a voice so smooth and a smile so bright. She's shining like a beacon in the darkest night. Deep dives on the stories that really matter. She's breaking it down, cutting through the chatter. Pop and stay a while, you'll feel right at home. She's got a little something for everyone, with a heart so big and an attitude strong. Miss Parker's where you know you belong. She's an advocate, a friend, a voice for the unheard, asking all the questions, never missing a word or a second to none. She's blazing like the sun. Miss Parker, the only one. She's got the news to amuse and the truth to reveal. Digging for the answers, keeping it real. For those who need a champion, she's standing tall. Fighting for justice, she's giving her all. With every upload, she's making a change, bringing people together, no matter the range. So hit that subscribe, don't miss a beat. Miss Parker's got the content that can't be beat. Questions we all have, she's not afraid to ask. Uncovering the story, she's up to the task. With a laugh, a wink, and a spirit so true, Miss Parker's got the magic and she's sharing it with you. Pop in, stay a while, you'll feel right at home. She's got a little something for everyone, with a heart so big and an attitude strong. Miss Parker's where you know you belong. She's an advocate, a friend, a voice for the unheard, asking all the questions, never missing a word or a second to none. She's blazing like the sun. Miss Parker, the only one. So here's to Miss Parker, the star of the show, bringing light to the world everywhere she goes. Tune in, stay tuned, you'll never be the same. Miss Parker, remember the name. Miss Parker, remember the name.
I love you guys. Thank you guys so much. Happy Wednesday, everybody.